Hello.
Hi. Hello, everybody.
Welcome.
Welcome to Oh My Gosh.
What?
I'm Skee.
And I'm Jules.
And today is going to be a good time.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah. Before we start talking about the episode, we're going to just talk a little bit about what happened this past week or weekend.
Yeah.
Fill you in.
Before we do that, don't forget to like and share and subscribe.
All those things.
And all the things.
All the things.
If you like us.
Yeah, we really need your support, actually.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support as well.
Yeah, and the support. We appreciate your support and we need the support.
We need
it. I think we should just dive into this past weekend.
Yeah.
What do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
My weekend was pretty chill.
Yeah.
I worked. We had a little game night with friends.
What'd you guys play?
We played. Have you ever played that game, Hues and Cues?
I've never even heard of that game. No, I have not.
So, it's like a board game where it's a bunch of colors.
Okay.
And so you get a card and it has 4 colors. You pick one of the colors.
Okay.
And you have, in the first round, you can describe it in one word, the color. And everybody has to put their little piece on the board of what they think the color is.
Oh.
And then in the second round, you describe it in 2 words. And then if they want to change it, they can put it in a different spot. And there's a box, and you put the box over where the color actually is. And whoever's in the box gets points, and whoever's right outside the box gets points. But I like stuff like that because I'm a hairstylist, and I like color theory, and I like matching colors. Yeah. So I won.
I won it. Easy. I'm a winner.
Easy dubs. No, I'm just kidding. But Danny was doing really well. So,
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it was fun.
And then you're like, I'm so sorry that you guys aren't that great for the other people. So sorry.
Yeah. And
that's cool.
We played another game called On the Spot, but
that's cool.
That was a fun one too.
I love games. I need to do more games. I love a good game. I don't like games though, like I like brain games where I have to really think about my next move and like what I'm doing. Like Rummy Cube, things like that. Yeah. But I don't like games where we have to like go on an adventure.
Oh, like a Jumanji or like
like
Candyland type of situation.
Or you know what game I hate playing? Sorry. Sorry.
Our kids love that game.
I hate that game. And then at this point too, even Guess Who's so easy.
Oh yeah.
So we can get through this in 30 seconds. Let's go.
I haven't played Guess Who in a long time.
Yeah, we should do Guess Who, but change the pictures.
That would be so funny.
Yeah. Yeah. We've got to do like a millennial one.
I think they have like a newer version of Guess Who.
Oh, do they?
I think so.
That's cool. My friend, she did a Real Housewives edition.
Oh.
So that's kind of like a fun one.
Was it like special to where she
made it. No, she like took out the pieces of the pictures and then put her own pictures in there of Real Housewives.
Wow.
So then we had to guess which housewife it was.
That's fun.
Yeah. It was really fun. Yeah. It was a good time.
We should have a game night soon.
We should have one. The last time we had a game night, we were really drunk.
Yeah.
We were a few wine bottles in, not glasses, wine bottles in. I mean, between 4 women, we brought like 8 or 9 bottles.
Yeah.
I think I was already a bottle and a half in before you guys even came.
It's not hard to drink that much wine.
It's not, but you guys don't see me drink that much. So I was pretty drunk.
You were a little toasty.
Yeah. And then we had karaoke in my house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I love karaoke.
I do too.
We should do more karaoke. Yeah. We should do more karaoke.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm glad you had fun with your friends.
Yeah. What did you do this weekend?
My girls went to their last big cheer competition and they won again.
Hey.
They won all season, first place. My youngest, she got second place in a tumble contest.
Okay.
She got her first trophy.
She's awesome.
And yeah, they did really good. I'm really proud of this season. I was the team mom and I feel really bonded and close with the moms on the team, even some of the dads too.
Yeah.
We're just such a good group. So I'm kind of sad that the season's wrapping up because I love this team so much. So hopefully next year we all get to be together again. I think it's hard to find a group where you're like all the kids like each other and all the parents like each other.
For sure.
So it's very like bittersweet because I don't want us to separate.
I
I'm like,
know.
how do we keep all of us together?
Right.
Because, you know, when you do things like this, and your kids are involved in something that's like, you know, you're there. I mean, I'm there like 4 days out of the week.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to find parents that you like to hang out with. And I finally found them.
Oh.
So I don't want us to break up.
Don't break up.
You
well,
know?
maybe you'll get put on the same team next year again.
I know.
Hopefully.
It's like a very expensive play date, but because like everybody just likes each other, but I'll pay that money again.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's worth it for them?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think for socially for me too, it's worth it for me too. Cause I get to hang out with cool moms.
Yeah.
And I don't know. They've just become really good friends of mine.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I just don't want us to break up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that you guys get to stay together.
Me too. Me too.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, I could talk about this for a long time, but we should probably just get started with our episode.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a cool one, you guys. So, the title of this episode is called Sliding Doors. And if you're like, sliding doors, what's that? It is based off of a movie in the 90s with Gwyneth Paltrow. And basically, it gives you the concept of if you do something, it changes the course of your life. And like, what if you did it differently? So in the movie, I believe she like goes on a subway or something like that, or a monorail, or I don't know, something like that. Cause it's been so long that since I've seen it, but like she goes on it and then, you know, her life goes on a certain course, but like, what if she decided not to go on it? So then you get to watch like the other side of like how her life could have been if she decided like not to hop on that train or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So that's basically what we're talking about. We're going to talk about times in our lives where we had to make a big decision and how our life ended up being. And then we're going to play a game. We're going to basically act out what we think our life could have maybe been if we didn't take that route. So it's like a fun little game we're kind of playing
like
too.
A game of what if.
Yeah.
It almost reminds me of that other movie, The Butterfly Effect.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like that. So, yeah, that's basically what the episode is going to be like today.
Yeah. So do you want to get into your first one?
Yeah. So my first one is I kind of went through my life. So I started off like, what was a big event when I was a kid? And I started with when my parents asked me to make the decision between soccer and dance because
Big deal.
at the time had already been in soccer. I'd been playing soccer since I was, I want to say 5. So they asked me to make this decision when I was like 10 or 11. So I'd been playing soccer for a long time. And I really loved my team. We were called the Little Ponies because they asked us as 5-year-olds, like, what do you want your team name to be? And we were like, the Little Ponies.
That's so cute though.
Yeah. And then when we got older, we had to drop the little and we were just called the Ponies. But it was so embarrassing when we got older because it'd be like the Ponies versus the Thundercats or something. You know, we always got made fun of. They're like, ooh, the Ponies are here. And we're like, shut the fuck up. We really like the Little Ponies. Okay. So, you know, cool it.
Yeah.
So, and I loved my team, my best friend, who's still my best friend to this day. We were on that together and it was just fun. I really enjoyed that time of my life, but I also was in dance. And as I got older, I started getting good at it. And I got asked to join a dance company, or at least audition for a dance company at that time. Cause I was like, I was about 11 and my mom just knew like, there's no way we can do both. If you're gonna, you know, pursue dance, there's no room for soccer. So I had to make a decision. And I ended up choosing dance, which led me to, obviously I got better and I went to a performing arts middle school, which led me to a performing arts high school, which led me to dance into adulthood. I ended up being a general manager for Millennium Dance Complex, which is like really well known. I know a lot of entertainers and like still I got a new job. And by the way, I got a job and I still get to use some of my dance knowledge and stuff like that. It's like for a studio. And yeah, so it's kind of like I'm still doing, my life still involves dance. So that's kind of how, just making that shift, it's shaped my future as far as like career wise, fitness, because, you know, like I like to dance for therapy reasons and I enjoy doing it. So it's still very much a part of my life. Now, if I had chosen soccer instead of dance, see, it's crazy because like I can't even think about a life without dance or the entertainment world or anything, the performing arts world.
That's so much of a part of you.
It is. Everybody that really knows me knows like, oh, like Skylar and dance.
Yes.
So I think that if I would have stuck with soccer, I probably wouldn't have gone to my performing arts middle school.
Probably not.
Yeah, I probably would have just went to the public school and, you know, I don't know. See, that's what's weird. Is like, I literally have no idea. I don't even know how I can't even see myself because this is so me.
Yeah.
That it's hard for me to even think about what would life have been if I had chosen soccer. I think eventually I would have probably gone back to dance. I think I would have maybe done a year of soccer and said, I really miss this. I think no matter what, dance is so ingrained in me that I would have went back to dance because I didn't love soccer. I did it because I loved hanging out with my best friend. I was a good defender, but it wasn't like I didn't love it. Like I never watched soccer games on TV. Like it was just something fun for me to do because I liked the team. I liked my friends, like all the parents were friends, but my heart was in dance. So I think that no matter what, I would have ended up back in dance somehow.
Yeah.
So that's what I think would have happened is I would have given that a year and been like, this isn't for me. I think for school, it would have changed me though. Cause I would have probably went to maybe not the performing arts school.
Yeah. You probably would have gone to a public school.
Yeah. Maybe I wouldn't have been in like that one dance company I was in, but I think that I very much would have, maybe it would have even been in different dance studios, maybe. Because there was like a moment where I dabbled into this one dance studio and I really liked it. But then I got so busy with high school that I stopped. But I think I probably would have maybe stuck around with that dance company because they were kind of a little bit competitive and I never did the competitive world. But I think maybe I would have dabbled in that. I have no idea.
Right.
But I think for this one, I don't think that there would have been a big change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with that. And I think your story is a good example of even if you were to choose a different path, everything happens like the way that it's supposed to.
Right.
And it would have just brought you back
for sure,
like your destiny.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I
have some stories like that too.
Yeah.
Where it's like, even if I did choose a different route, I think I would still be in the same place.
Yeah. So yeah.
With a few minor details.
Yeah. So that's my soccer dance story.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about your story?
I have a few. One of them that I wanted to talk about was, and it's not even really all of that like a huge deal or a decision that I made, but when I first met my husband, we met at a bar, and it's somewhere that I always went to, but this night in particular was not a night that I would normally go. And the person that I went with was a client of mine that I had never gone out with. So she asked me on a whim, hey, I was thinking about going here, and do you want to come with me? Because she knew that I went a lot. And I just said, fuck it, like, let's go.
Let's go.
So I just don't know if I would have met my husband if I hadn't gone out with her.
That's so crazy.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Because it was such a random time where, like, I'd never gone out with her, never usually went on that night. But the crazy part was that he always went to that bar too.
Yeah.
So he always went there, I always went there, but we never talked and never saw each other up until that point.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe if we didn't go out that night, maybe I wouldn't have met him. And
were you with your ex at the time, or no? You were broken up?
Yeah, okay. I was broken up for like probably 6 to 9 months at that point. But even when I talked to him about it, he said that he wasn't planning on going that night either.
That's so crazy.
And his friend basically like bullied him into it, was like, don't be a bitch, like you gotta go. So he on a whim went out that night when he wasn't planning on it either.
Wow.
So I just think that it was kind of fate that we were supposed to go out on that specific night with those people.
Wow.
And when we did meet, we looked at each other and kind of laughed, like nervous laughed. And he came to me and he was like, hey, do you want to dance? And I was like, yeah. Well, he actually asked me if I know how to do what the dance was, because it was a country bar. And I go, only if I have a good leader. Like I was
Ooh, okay. Okay.
So he's like, okay, we'll figure it out. So he took me around the dance floor. And then when we stopped, it was like, okay, bye. And then his friend's girlfriend happened to see me in the bathroom. And she goes, oh my gosh, you're the girl that he was dancing with. I have to get your information so that you guys can like talk, because you're so cute. And I was like, okay. So if she wouldn't have done that, then I don't know if we would have ever connected.
That is so crazy.
I know. Isn't that funny?
Wow. Yeah.
So, I mean, going to the sliding doors, if I would have said, no, I'm okay, I think I would have just continued on doing what I was doing. I think I was on like a dating app, like talking to random dudes, just kind of like biding my time. Right. Working. I wasn't really doing like anything super significant work.
And there wasn't anybody that you were seeing?
No.
Or dating kind of?
When I was on the dating apps and I was just kind of like seeing people here and there. There was this other guy that I was kind of talking to, and he was in the military. Yeah. And we had gone on like a few dates, but there was something about him that just kind of turned me off. So I was like, nah, I'm not into it. Yeah. But I think I would have just continued on the path. But again, I think because we had gone to that place so often in certain scenarios, maybe we would have met like later on. Right. But I don't know. So
that's so crazy.
I know. So that's kind of the story of how I met my husband, but also like a story about if I would have never said yes to this girl, I don't know if it would have gone the same way.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. So
wow. Yeah. That is crazy. That's really cute. That's a cute story. Yeah. It's cute hearing your stories, and if you're watching the YouTube video, it's cute to watch your face light up, because you're going back in time and you're like, oh my God, I remember that time when we first met. It's cute to see your face light up.
Because it was so exciting and like special. And with this year being our 10-year reunion, I feel like
you mean your anniversary?
Our 10-year anniversary.
You're like, it's been so nice. I haven't seen you in so long.
I haven't seen you in 10
I know
years.
We've been married for 10 years, but it's so nice. Oh my God, what have you been up to?
Yeah, it's been our 10-year anniversary. And I just think that this is a really special year.
You should say that to him when he, like, guys always hang out in the bathroom for so long. They're like, oh my God, happy 10-year reunion. It's been so nice. I haven't seen you in the last 20 minutes.
He'd be like, what?
Yeah, and you're like, you don't get it.
Don't ask.
Skee gets it. You don't get it.
It's our inside joke. Like,
you don't get it. Why don't you watch our videos? You'll get it.
I guess I'm mixing like our reunion.
Yeah, like our 20-year reunion's coming up. So
yeah. That's not 10. That's 20.
That's 20.
But no, who's counting?
We don't know math. Like, we don't math very well here. So I don't even know how old I am anymore. Right. Don't ask me.
Don't ask.
I don't even really know how long I've been with my husband. Sometimes I'm like,
I always try to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. It started in 2009, and then I have to like use my fingers. I'm like, okay, yeah, right.
And then carry the one over.
Yeah, I don't know. Don't ask me. So, I'm the worst person.
It's okay.
Yeah, well, that's cool.
Yeah. Do you have another?
Yeah, one? I'm literally going through the ages in my sliding door moment.
Okay.
The next one would be when I was in 5th grade. I guess actually it's kind of around the same time-ish with the whole soccer and dance stuff too, but it was just very significant. So when we were in 5th grade, we got an orientation to go to our public middle school and, scope it out, check out some of the possible electives you could take, things like that. I got to see the dance team. And I was pumped actually to go to public middle school. I auditioned for the dance team. I made it. It was like kind of, I think, a little rare for a sixth grader to be on the dance team because it was a good dance team. So I was already excited. I'm like, cool, I'm going to be part of the dance team. I'm part of something. I'm going to make some new friends. I'm going to have some friends that are probably older, which is going to be good because, it's probably a good thing to go into something knowing you're like, I got some seventh and eighth graders that got my back.
Yeah.
And I was really excited and I signed up for wood shop. Yeah, I signed up for wood shop. I remember walking into wood shop room when they were kind of giving us like, okay, and this is wood shop. And I thought, this is really freaking cool.
Yeah.
I want to learn how to do woodworking. And it was kind of funny because I'm such a girly girl. And I don't think a lot of probably girls would even think about doing wood shop, but I was like pumped. I'm like, I'm going to be on the dance team. I'm going to be in wood shop class. I was, I already knew people going to that school. So I was like, I'm set. And then I found out I got accepted to the performing arts middle school. So then I had to make this decision. Like, what do I do? Do I go to the public middle school where I'm already kind of set up? Like, I already felt like this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Or do I leave everybody that I've known from elementary school? And we had just moved too. So everybody in my neighborhood that I went to elementary school with, I didn't have them in my neighborhood anymore.
Oh.
But we were still zoned for the same middle school. So I kind of like went up the hill, but I was way further away.
Right.
So I still could be with them. So I'm like, okay, well, at least I still have friends. I don't have them in the neighborhood, but I'll still see them. It's comfortable. Or do I go to this other school where I don't know a single person, but I'm doing it because I want to be a better dancer? And so I really didn't know what to do. But I decided, all right, I'm going to go to the middle school. I'm going to give it a year. And if I don't like it, I'll go back.
Yeah.
And although I do think that if I would have stayed at okay, I guess we'll talk about what happened going to the middle school, about like where happened with my actual life, and then we'll talk about scenario life.
Okay.
So I ended up going to the performing arts school, and it was great. I met my best friend there. Shout out to Mofo. And a couple other friends too. I literally, some of my very good best friends are from that school.
From the performing arts school.
Yeah, I had the best time. A lot of people don't like middle school. They're like, I hated middle school. I loved it. I loved middle school more than high school. And it was a great experience. And I'm still friends with a lot of people from middle school because it was such a good school. And we had so many great memories that we all are still close. We still check in with each other. And yeah, it shaped me because it was a dance, where I am today.
It's part of your dance story.
It really is. So yeah, that's kind of like what happened with me. I loved it.
Yeah.
I had no complaints. But if I had went to the public school,
how would that have gone?
I don't know. I had heard that at that public school, the kids were bad. Like they partied, they got into like drinking and drugs at an early age. So I'm all like, oh no, would I have like fallen into that? I don't know. I was a pretty good girl though.
Do you think you would have been influenced, though?
I don't know. But I do think I would have eventually met you.
Yeah.
Because I would have. Yeah, I think that if I went to the public school, I don't think I would have went to the performing arts high school. I would have just went to the regular high school. I know we would have been friends because I think I probably would have tried out for dance team because I don't think the dance team was that bad. Was it? Do you remember? I thought it was pretty good at the time.
I don't remember if we had a dance team.
Okay, because
I know we had a step team.
No, then I probably cheerleaders. So I probably, if it wasn't dance, I would have definitely been a cheerleader. We would have connected. I know we would have been friends, like 100%. I know we would have been
friends sooner.
Yeah, I think we would have been friends sooner. And what's crazy is I ended up connecting with Jules when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we would have connected in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think that I have an idea of like who probably like I would have dated.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any nicknames for them?
I know that like he was a football player and stuff like that.
Okay.
And you know, we had a lot of the same friends. So I'm sure that probably would have like maybe we would have dated or something. But I know for sure we would have been like really good friends.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know. But I just know that it would have led me to you sooner.
Still best friends.
Yeah. So yeah, but I think that either way would have been fine.
Yeah.
I just think that I don't think that dance would have been as big of my life, like a big part of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything was kind of like just leading you through your dance journey, I feel like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think as far as that goes, yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
But yeah, I always think about that because I don't know. It's funny. I never went to that school, but I knew a lot of people there. I feel like I'm like, oh, I think I did go to that school. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I was there.
Didn't I go to the school?
Wasn't I there? Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Because the high school that we ended up going to, a lot of people were pulled from there. So there was like a lot of parties and
everybody
like
was kind of just intermingled.
Yeah.
And that's how our city is anyway.
Yeah.
If you know someone, they know someone you know too.
Yeah. So that's my story about like, you know, me choosing to go to performing arts middle school. And then like, what if I had gone to the public middle school? Middle school. And like, where it would have taken me, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my next one, I have two, but I'll start with this one.
Okay.
So this one was before I met my husband. And it was when I was with my ex. And when we first started dating, I felt like I liked him, but I also felt like I just liked the idea of like having a boyfriend.
Right.
You know? So I feel like we didn't really connect a whole lot, but we stayed together for a long time for, I don't know why. Yeah. And there was this one specific time where we got into like a really big fight. And I've told you this, so I'll retell the story. Yeah. But we got into a fight in the car and he started driving all super erratically. And it freaked me out. And I was like, let me out of the car. And at that point, I had thought about breaking up with him, but I chose not to.
Yeah.
So my sliding door would be if I had broken up with him at that time.
Okay.
Versus the years that followed.
Right.
And I mean, it wasn't like our relationship was horrible, but we just weren't on the same page a whole lot.
You guys were just different people.
Yeah, we were just different people. We liked different things.
Well, you also had just turned 21, so he was a little older, right? Like 3 years older or something.
Yeah, but this happened when I was like 19 or 20.
Okay.
So I wasn't even 21 yet.
Okay.
And it happened right around the time where you remember when we used to have parties?
Oh, like hotel parties?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it happened right around then. And so after it happened, I had gone to like the hotel party with everybody and was like, nah, I don't care about this dude, whatever. But I ended up just kind of staying with them anyway.
Yeah.
And we had some like really good times together, but I just think like how would it have been if I would have said, okay, I'm done from the beginning? And so it's hard to think about how it would have happened, like what I would have done. Because so much of he helped me kind of get through college. He was around when I went to hair school, but I think I would have still done the same thing. Like I would have kind of gone the same path. I just wouldn't have had him.
It's crazy because you were with him for so long, but I don't ever remember him around.
Yeah, he didn't hang out a whole lot.
That's how like detached he was from us.
Yeah.
Like I can remember literally one time that he was around, and it was because I came back with Kyle and we did a double date.
One time.
But I don't even remember him talking.
Yeah,
he was just there.
He was not like super outgoing at all, super introverted.
Well, and I knew he didn't really like me, so
he didn't like a lot of my friends. But yeah, I think I would have gone in the same path of just going to college, going to hair school, starting my first job. I think I just would have been probably trying to find like a boyfriend.
Right.
Because, you know, it's always about, oh, I don't want to be alone.
Right.
Like, I need my person.
Yeah.
And I'm such a quality time person that I would have really been like trying to find a boyfriend.
Oh, same. Like, so. I don't ever really remember a time where I was single for longer than like a week or two, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe I think a month was my longest.
Yeah.
I'm a girlfriend. That's what I'm always a girlfriend.
But sometimes I wish that I would have been confident enough in myself at that time to say I'm done and just done my thing by myself.
Oh, 100%. Me
you
too.
know? But now, like, looking back on it as a 30-something and looking back on this 19, 20-year-old girl, thinking like, oh man, like, you had so many opportunities to just do your own thing and be your own person. And I just wish I could tell her, be confident in yourself.
Like, you got this.
Yeah.
You don't need a man right now.
You don't need a man.
Yeah, you don't need. It's funny because I think that women that are our age now in their 30s, 40s, whatever, anytime you talk to anybody that's been married for a long time, we have all said the same thing. If something happened to my husband, I don't think I would date again. Or at least, like, maybe I would date, but I would never get married again.
Yeah.
We're all kind of like, I'm good by myself.
And I love, like, being married.
Yeah.
I love my relationship that I'm in now with my husband. But I feel like I wish I could tell her, hey, do your own thing and be confident. And you're okay.
Just like travel.
Yeah.
Have fun, flirt.
Yeah.
Do like, I don't know, just
live your life.
There's nothing serious right now.
Yeah.
Just do all the things before you settle down.
Yep.
Yeah, don't settle down young. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Same. I feel the same. It's kind of interesting listening to both of our stories because as we're hearing ourselves explain, this is what happened and this is what I think would have happened, they keep leading us back to the path where we're like, no, I still feel pretty confident in the decision I made.
Of like how things went. Yeah, I agree. I feel like there's no decision in my life that I can think of that I regret.
Right.
Even in like that type of situation where it's like, I feel like we didn't really connect and we maybe stayed together too long.
For sure.
I don't regret how it went.
Yeah.
So I think that's the important thing in life is not feeling like you have regrets.
For sure.
For everything.
Yeah.
And all the mistakes that we made are just lessons.
Yeah. I mean, and I think it's normal for all of us to think like, oh, I wonder like what if like it went this way or what if whatever, you know? But yeah, it's very interesting hearing both of our sides of these stories so far.
Yeah.
I have another one. It's about when I met my husband.
Okay.
Actually, no, I'm not even. Well, I guess we could do when I met him. And then I want to do one about when we broke up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to go with?
I'll do when we met. I'm just going to like stay in my order.
This is a two-part.
This is a two-parter. When I met him, I just got out of a 4 or 5 year relationship. And we were very up and down. He hurt me. He really hurt me. And I remember I called Jules. And
I was there.
She was there. We both worked at the same mall, but in different salons. I called her crying. He had done something that just like really hurt me. And she goes, that's it. We're going out. And I was like, I don't know if I want to go out. She goes, no, I'll come pick you up. I'm going to get all the girls together. We're going to go out.
Like, bitch, we're going.
Yeah. So I get ready. You know, I'm pre-drinking in the car. I'm set. They're like, fuck that guy. And I'm like, oh, I loved him. And yeah, we go downtown and I met my husband that night.
Yep.
Yeah. See, if it wasn't for you, I would have never met my husband.
Whoa.
Wow.
I'm like really ingrained in your life right now. I mean,
I guess we never even really thought about that or even talked about that. Like if it wasn't for you saying, bitch, no, I'm coming to pick you up, I would have never met Kyle.
Whoa.
That's super crazy. I never thought about that.
Because we've always talked about how I was there.
But we never talked about how like you're the main reason. Because I called you and you said we're going out.
Yeah.
holy crap.
Because that was our response to everything. Everything traumatic was like, we're going out for drinks.
Yeah. I don't know why we, like, yeah.
That was just like how we did things back then.
So
like, we're going out.
Yeah. It's because of you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I met him that night. And then, like, you know, he got my number, and, you know, he really he pursued me.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then now we've been together forever. So, yeah, if I didn't go out that night, I think I would have gone back with my ex-boyfriend.
You think so?
100%.
Wow.
Because we were always so, like, off and on, and all I wanted was to be like a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, like, easy to get back with him because we knew each other.
Yeah, that's just how long-term
it's kind of it's kind of like you with your ex. You're like, it wasn't bad. I just think that we weren't right for each other, but I don't think I knew what a good, healthy relationship looked like until I met my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think that I would have gotten back with him, because I do remember there were a few times when my husband had to go to school for the Army.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still his girlfriend at the time. And I remember my ex, you know, trying to weasel his way back into my life a little bit. Like, he'd be at, like, Halloween parties and this and that, you know. But I'm glad everything happened the way that it did, though.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I went out that night.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would have never met my husband.
Well, it's like it saved you from going into this, like, unnecessary repetition of something that wasn't healthy.
For sure. The only thing that I will say is, like you had talked about earlier, if I could talk to the girl back then, I would have said to her, you should just explore being single. But I think if I did that, I don't know if I would have ended up staying, you know, being with my husband. But I don't think I allowed myself to just be like, who are you? Like, you just got out of this really I went from a year relationship to, like, a 4 or 5 year relationship to, like, maybe a month being single into a, like, 15-year relationship that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
I did not allow myself to just be like, who are you, without a guy attached to you?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you just have fun? Why don't you just date? Like, nothing serious. So yeah, there is a part of me that thinks, oh, I wish I would have done that.
Right.
But I'm glad I didn't, because, you know, we're married and we have this beautiful family. But there is a part of me that thinks that, like, that too.
Yeah, I think.
But it's normal.
Yeah, I think, like, with movies and growing up, we've just always been shown, like, your main goal is to find your partner.
Right.
Right. Not a lot of movies, at least back when we grew up, were really encouraging people to, like, find themselves and be who they were. And the ones that did, the only one I can think of right now is, like, Eat, Pray, Love. You remember that? But that was because she got a divorce.
Right.
So she was coming from having a man.
Right.
You know? So, I mean, it's just, that was just always the goal, was to finding your partner and not really being able to find yourself.
Yeah.
And in some cases, finding yourself in your partner, like accommodating them. For sure. And doing things that they liked. Yeah. Even if you didn't really like it back then. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it. Do you want me to go to part 2 of this, or should we have you do one of your sliding doors?
I can do another one. Okay. Yeah. So I say our because it has to do with me and my husband's decision to either stay here or leave where we live. So when we first met, he worked for a company that he didn't like, and it was really stressful for him. And I encouraged him to look into other options. So one of those other options was something that one of his family members does, which is being a lineman. Yeah. And so he was looking into schooling for it, and the only schooling that was close to here was in Sacramento. Oh my gosh. So the option was to potentially move to Sacramento. And I actually have family there. Mm-hmm. So we would have been closer to some of my family. Right. But not close to where we live now. and we would have just picked up our whole lives and left.
Were you guys married at the time?
No.
Oh, okay. So he's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was like willing to do that with him, to explore that option of us moving away and being together and all of that. And so he was looking into all of it, and he was getting ready to kind of like get prepped to do that. And we were like seriously talking about it. Like I would have had to change my whole salon situation. Yeah. I don't even know if I would have been a hairstylist there.
Wow.
Or anything. And before we were able to make final decisions, he was also looking at getting a job where he works now, and he ended up getting hired.
Wow.
So his new hire, it was like, okay, well, am I going to take this job that I just got hired for, or am I going to move to a whole new state and try this whole other career? And he chose to take the job here.
Wow.
So we stayed here. But yeah, I think if we would have moved, everything would have changed.
We wouldn't be doing this podcast right now.
Well, I don't know, because we always kept in touch, even when you weren't here.
True.
So maybe, I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if I would have stayed in California, because it's like so different than Vegas. I don't know if I would be doing hair anymore, because it's like so hard to start over. But maybe at that time, because I was still fairly new to it, maybe I would have just picked up and like started over there.
Right.
But I probably would be closer to my family that lives there, because I don't feel like we have a super close relationship now, just because we've never been in close proximity.
Right.
So I think my relationship with my family would have gotten stronger, but I still feel like being here was the right decision.
Yeah, so look at you. You're like, I still made the right decision.
I did. Like I said earlier, I don't have regrets.
Yeah.
I don't regret anything that I did.
I don't have regrets, just what if. What if?
What ifs?
What ifs?
But I do feel like everything happened the way that it should, and everything happens for a reason. That's my story about career changes.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you still would have done hair. I think you're pretty passionate about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I have been.
You would have been.
These last million years.
I wonder what your husband thinks about that too. I wonder if he thinks,
like what
if?
I don't know. We haven't talked about that in a long time.
We should do a what if with him tonight.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I'm going to jump into my part 2 with my husband.
Yeah.
So when I was dating him, we'd only been together for 8 months, and it was great. We're a good relationship. I feel like a lot of people were kind of like looking up to our relationship. We didn't fight. We had fun. It was good. I definitely felt like this is the father of my children vibes. Like that was the path I wanted with him. And then he decided to join the military. He just kind of signed up and then told me what he did after. And it's his life. So I was just kind of like, okay, whatever. And we did not talk about what we were going to do about our relationship. So he told me this around 8 months in our relationship. And then he had to leave around our year anniversary. And as it was getting closer for him to leave, we finally had the talk. Like we just were avoiding the talk, but we finally had the talk. And he ended up breaking up with me because he didn't want me waiting around for him, and he wanted me to live my life, which I probably should have, which we talk about. I'm like, I wish I would have done that. And he was trying to be like, here's your chance. Like, go live your life. But anyways, we broke up. I was devastated because I thought, oh my God, I found this great guy. He's so nice. He's nice to my friends. He's clean. He's organized. I was like, I've never met a guy like this before. And I didn't know what to do. And so what ended up happening, though, is maybe like a week or 2 later, I don't know if he reached out to me or I reached out to him, but it was probably me. I was like, can we just talk one more time? I have something for you. I don't know, some bullshit. So I don't know, some way of giving him something. And we met up and we really did miss each other. I mean, there was a lot of love there. It was just, he didn't want me to stick around for him because he was like on his own journey.
Yeah.
You know, he's a little older than me. So he's like, I need to figure out my life. Like, you've already got your life figured out. Like, I was doing hair. Like, I was good. Like, I was making money. I had a career. He didn't feel like he was in the same position as me at the time. And yeah, so we saw each other and I told him, I was like, I'm very ride or die. Like, I will wait for you. Like, I don't care. Like, I love you. Like, and I told him, I always say, let's just give it a year. I do that for everything in my life. I'm going to give this a year. Let's see what happens. And then I'll reevaluate. So I said, let's just try this out for a year. Yeah. And then, yeah, he ended up proposing to me maybe like 7 months later, 6 or 7 months later, and then we got married. Mm-hmm. And yeah, that's where we're at now. But I think that when he broke up with me, if I decided to be like, okay, like it is what it is, I have like 2 scenarios that I think would have played out. Okay. So scenario 1 would have been, I would have gone back with my ex-boyfriend. Mm-hmm. Because I was a weak bitch. That's why. Yeah. And they both involve boys. This is how weak I am. I was like, I can't be single. Yeah, I think that I would have eventually reached out to my ex-boyfriend and we probably would have just gone back together and done that.
Done the same thing.
Done the same shit.
Yeah.
Or there was another guy that I did reach out to. Okay. And we had played this game for years of like, oh, we should get together. We shouldn't. We hung out a few times, whatever. But yeah, it was like, oh, well, I'm finally single. You're finally single. And we were talking a little bit and I think it was about like going out to lunch or something. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, yeah, give me a call. And I'm like, or you can call me, but he never called me.
And you never called him.
And I never called him.
You guys just left each other on red or whatever.
We did. And yeah. So I think that if like I would have, like maybe me and him would have tried dating or just like had some fun. Yeah. For a little bit. I think, but I don't know if I was like strong enough to do my own thing though. I think eventually I would have been like, you're either my boyfriend or you're either my boyfriend. Mm-hmm. So that's probably would have happened is I would have just been with another guy. Yeah. Because I was weak and I didn't know how to be by myself. Yeah. So that's what I think would have happened.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But obviously you like your decision.
Yes, I did. Yeah. But I think it was really cool of my husband because like when he broke up with me, it wasn't for anything bad. No. Like I understood why we had to end this relationship. It wasn't like a fight. I mean, I was devastated though. But I appreciate him doing it in that manner. I thought it was very mature of him to say like, I miss you and I love you. And it breaks my heart too that like we cannot be together, but it's not fair to you to like drop your life and your career like for me.
And you were like, bet.
Yeah. I'm like, well, watch what happens. Yeah. But it was kind of cool. Like, I think choosing that path to be with him, it led me to learning how to live by myself without my family. We had to travel a lot because of the military. I made a lot of really good friends that I'm still friends with to this day. Mm-hmm. And I got to live in Charleston, South Carolina, which is my favorite place in the whole wide world. And I want to move back one day. And yeah, it was great. No complaints on that.
Well, and when I think about it, you did get to experience what it was like to kind of be alone.
Actually, oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah. I did. I had to be independent because he was gone for like deployments and training and stuff. Yeah. So I did have to learn how to be like, what is life without someone?
So essentially you did get kind of what you needed.
Yeah. I just didn't get the, I'm going to be with other dudes. Not that I, like, you know, it's just, you know, but I did get to explore, like, what is life? Like, like, I had to make decisions for myself. I had to find apartments. I had to pick out furniture without him being like, oh yeah, like an input. Like, I had to make every single decision with, well, I like this. Hope he likes it. I don't know.
Because he wasn't there to, you know, make that decision.
So you're right. I did get to do that. Look at you, just blowing my mind right now.
And look how independent you are now.
Yeah.
Like, you're so good.
Oh my God,
and you're so organized.
I try.
Yeah.
I try to be.
Like on top of everything.
I really, I don't know. Like, it makes me sad when I talk to other, I don't know, other women or other people that are married and they've never got to experience life without their men a lot, and knowing how capable they are of like just doing shit by themselves. Yeah. Because I'm so just like, yeah, whatever, like, bye, I got it. Because you get so, it's like a codependency type of thing where you're like, I don't know what life could be if I didn't see like my husband, whatever. And I'm like, you'll be fine. Yeah. Like, you'll make it work. And I think sometimes it's good to have space because it makes room for you to miss that person. Yeah. I agree with that. If you see that person all the time, you don't get to miss them. And there's like a good feeling about like really missing someone. It's like even like a friend that you haven't seen in a long time. You're like, I really missed you. And I'm glad that we're spending this time together. Yeah. So I feel like that even with my husband now, he's usually gone for a few days out of the week. And I really love when he comes home. Because it's like you get to re-see him and renew. Yeah, and then when I get sick of him, he goes away. I think that's why I like not really texting my husband during the day. Like, we'll call throughout the day, but we're not really people who text all day. Yeah. So I kind of like that because then we get to catch up at the end of the day and talk about everything that happened. Yeah. Or I just prefer talking to him and talking to people. Yeah. It makes me feel more connected than just like, how was your day? Fine. How was your day? Fine. Like, it's fine to do that with some people, but with him, I like being able to like see him and talk to him. Sometimes I have to make sure that like me and my husband, we do make sure, you know, we have to connect with each other. Because I think he's so independent and I'm so independent that like we'll go a whole day and not talk to each other. And I'm like, oh, I should probably check in on him. Or he should probably check in on me. Doing. Yeah. Yeah. We're just kind of like, okay, bye. Yeah. And then we just do our thing. And then he's like, oh, you're fine. Yeah. And then I'm like, you're fine. Yeah. The only time I'll call him if it's like a crazy story or something. Yeah. Or the girls want to talk to their dad or something. Yeah. Yeah. So. I mean, shit, like, we're so independent. We could have secret lives. Like, just kidding. He could have a whole nother family. Oh, gosh. And I would be like, oh, like I don't know. Like that story you told. Yeah. About the person having the whole family. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he could totally have a whole nother family. And we'd just be like, oh, whatever. I don't even know. Yeah, every time he goes out and plays poker, it's because he's seeing his other family. It's fine. Or was I the one who told that story? I don't know. One of us told the story. There was a story. It was last week's episode, right? Is that what we talked about last week? I think so, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. We're just like all over the place now. Since this podcast is running, we're all over the place. But it's cool. Yeah. But I really feel good about this episode and kind of deep diving into decisions that we made. I think so too. It was all stuff that was based off of like our own decision or somebody close to us, like with my husband and everything. And yeah. I feel like. Yeah, I think I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Yeah. I think every decision I make, I really trust my gut. I don't follow my heart. My heart, she's a weak bitch. Okay. I don't like following my heart. I follow my gut. Follow your intuition. And I feel like even if it doesn't make sense at the time, as long as I feel like I'm on the right path, it always guides me to exactly where I need to be. Yeah. Yeah. And right now I feel very on point right now in my life. Do you feel like that right now? Yeah, I feel good. Yeah. Yeah, I feel good about where I'm at. Yeah, I don't really feel unfulfilled or anything. That's a shitty feeling when you feel like that. Yeah. But I don't feel like that right now. I feel good. I think life is good and I'm happy with the people in my life and everything.
Yeah. We're exactly where we're supposed to be.
I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Me too.
Yeah, it was kind of fun sharing this, like our lives with you guys.
Yeah.
And maybe this will make you think about some sliding door moments that you had, and you can maybe talk about this with like your friends or your spouse.
Yeah.
A game of what if.
A game of what if.
Yeah.
So don't forget to like, share, follow.
Yeah.
And we will see you next week.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap for today's episode of Oh My Gosh, What?
We hope you enjoyed listening to our crazy stories.
Also, don't forget to subscribe, like, and review us on your favorite podcast platform.
And follow us on social media for even more fun content and behind-the-scenes looks.
Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next week.
Okay, bye.
Bye.